I can say about prospecting is probably the most important thing that we do as salespeople. Is probably the thing we plan the least amount of time for. You know, we get busy, we get on our route, we get all our things going, and we forget that we're not planting seeds. So for prospecting, I guess the biggest thing I tell my people is if you're not doing it today, 6 months from now, your pipeline is empty and you will have no business coming in.
I think the most important thing about getting new customers is just your persistence. So what I did is I developed a checklist of customers that I wanted to call, and instead of leaving messages, I would sit there and call them over and over again.
One of the best practices for prospecting, again, it goes back to warming up your cold calls. Getting them familiar with your name, our company, and doing it in a unique and creative way that gets their attention. And I think another thing is, there's a sales guru once told me that the only thing worse sounding than somebody reading a script is somebody not reading a script. And because we try for months to get people on the phone, to get that first appointment. And so many times you get their voicemail. And finally one of these days they're answering the phone. Whoa. And it's lights, camera, action. And you better know what you're gonna say, you better sound clear, you better sound confident, it better be compact. You got all of about 30 seconds to keep their attention. And I think preparation is key.
In prospecting, my region has tried some new kind of different outside the box ideas. One of the things that we're doing is a gift bag that's like a bright fluorescent color with tissue paper. It has samples in it, it has a kill the price brochure in it. It's something to get their attention on price, product, and who gets a gift bag and doesn't open it. So everybody we've left them for opens them, and a high majority of them have actually called back and agreed to have a meeting with us.
One of the things was warming up your sales cold calls. So the hardest, you can't get new customers without getting new appointments. It's just that simple. And the stats say that you are 80% more likely to land that first appointment if they know your name in advance to calling. And so you can't buy them sports tickets, you can't act like you're trying to buy them, you don't know them yet. So you send them a box instead of a letter, because everybody opens boxes and not letters. And the item that Chet Holmes suggested was a Rubik's Cube. And with a note saying, puzzled on how you're gonna reach your cost savings goals for 2015, don't be. Of the last 30 deals I've been a part of, my clients have saved an average of 25% across the board. I'll call you in a week to book an appointment.
One of the best practices for prospecting is use a short and concise message in every touch you make. Make sure you're consistent, make sure you're always telling the Magid story and being consistent.
This customer was spending a lot of money on PPE and they had a high injury rate. They gave us a tour of their facility, and after about an hour we had enough data to come back with a PPE proposal that not only saved them money on PPE but also helped them reduce their injuries. So we have, as a result, a happy customer that is currently doing about $100,000 a year with us.
We do a lot of stuff for the customers that our competitors won't do. And just for an example, probably every week or two we're making a special glove for someone that has a deformed hand or a problem and can't wear a standard product. Little things like that make the difference.
We have a particular customer who likes to hire skilled workers, no matter what their special needs are. This particular customer has a gentleman who had lost all of his fingers on one hand. He was a very skilled welder, and he continued to be a very skilled welder, but he had difficulty with protection for that one hand. So we were able to go and measure very specifically, build a glove that he's able to use on that other hand that doesn't have any fingers anymore. And he has lovingly dubbed that his stub glove and is very grateful.
Recently we had a situation where a customer was using a standard welding glove and they were going through 24 pair a week per employee, which is huge. So we created a new glove with a wool lining and a cut 4 lining, and based on that it's lasting 5 times longer than the other glove. They're paying us 3 times more per pair, but they're actually saving 30%. So the fact that we were willing to create a glove for them made a big difference.
One example would be with Hino Motors, which is owned by Toyota. They had an application where they had 8 employees scraping paint off of the end of an axle hub, and we designed an actual canvas cover for that customer that put those employees back doing more productive work with the company and saving them a lot of man hours, if you will. So with that being said, it brought all their PPE to us, and now they've been a customer for well over 8 years.
One of the interesting things about Magid is our ability to really reach down deep and meet the customer's need technically. reminded of a story with Toyota, where we went into the Toyota plant and they were looking for a unique solution in a cape and a jacket with a cut sleeve. And through our work together as a team, we were able to build this product for them, and they approved it, and now they have what they need for their guys in this particular application.
The Delphi plant in Juarez, they had a problem where they have been looking for a product that will be heat resistant and also oil proof. And eventually Magid developed a glove that worked for them. And it was a solution that at the time nobody else had. They had to use 2 different gloves for that particular operation. So, and now we were able to solve that problem for them.
Competitors weren't really interested in this account that we didn't have. Competitors weren't interested in developing an extra, like double extra small size. And we said we will. So we will. We were interested. We started developing it. Took 6 or 8 months. We ended up developing it, and because of that particular interest in their specific needs, we were able to get initially that particular glove, which eventually ended up in getting us the plan, which eventually helped us get the whole corporate account that we still have after 18 years.
One of the things that we've done strategically as a company is develop different programs to take care of our customer needs to compete at a local level. We've developed our ZIP program, we developed a vending program, we developed our safety assessments to really show our value to the customer.
An example on how Magid has saved the customer beyond product price is with all the value-add services that we provide the customer. We offer health and safety services, hazard assessments, our partnership programs, consignment where we buy back inventory, and we look at the total cost of ownership for the customer that reduces the overall cost of operating.
One of the situations that we had over the years was not being a local supplier. So what Magid has done is set up what we call a ZIP program, which is consignment, and which puts the inventory in the customer's storeroom at no charge, and we just bill them for it after they use it at the end of the month. That way they never run out of safety equipment, and no line ever goes down, and the product is always there when they need it.
When we sell an Art Flash program to a large customer, really any size customer, many times I'll end up coming in with the product, and we do a little training session for them, and as a value add, so that the employee really understands what they're getting, how to care for the product, and it kind of enhances the whole experience of working with Magid in the safety arena.
Wisconsin Steel, which was the steel producing part of an international harvester where they make the trucks, and I called on them for years and couldn't get anywhere. And I was there one day when it was pouring rain, and one of the people in the supervisors in the plant came in and needed rain suits. Right then I couldn't get them, so I got in my car, went back, brought out 100 rain suits, and after that ended up getting all the business there.
One example of something that we do for one of our customers that has saved them a significant amount of money and did not really involve changing a product or anything like that was that we build specific new hire kits for them. We include all of the necessary PPE for the person to start their job, but we also take their tools that are assigned to them for that particular job, put it all into one kit and deliver it to the training center on the first day of work so that they're able to use that at their, as they start to do their job.
I'm currently working on a PPE project for a corporate customer that involves doing PPE assessments, product testing, and standardization all in one. We've identified solutions that are lasting between 6 and 15 times longer than their current solutions, and as a result the employee acceptance rate is over 95%, and so it's leading to both injury reductions as well as cost savings to the customer.
Well, the best practice in handling a common objection is to anticipate and prepare for it.
Being prepared to overcome objections. There's really only 3 to 5 common objections people give us for not meeting with us. I'm really busy right now, can you send us some information, right? We've all heard that. I'm really happy with my current supplier. I'm just not interested right now, but there's good responses to those. So let's just get clear on what they are and practice some common responses and stay in the game. Still ask for the appointment, that's the main goal.
We tend to try to give them an answer immediately to the customer, but we gotta listen a little bit more, and maybe a little bit more, and then a little bit more, and then really understand what they're saying, and then offer a solution. That helps really give the customer something that you will eventually come through.
How we've wowed our customers is just by bringing them to our corporate headquarters, in my mind. You know, you come to this brand new building that we have the state-of-the-art warehouse manufacturing that is 700,000 square feet, 31 acres of land. I mean, back in the day, you would see an old building that we retrofitted to be modern, which was a great way to win people over, but now we're a major player.
But whether we're at Colmar or at our new state-of-the-art facility, when you bring them here, they are totally wowed that we're manufacturing the whole distribution center and everything that we have to offer.
To get them to come to Chicago, get them to come to Romeoville here to the headquarters. I think it's the most underutilized closing technique in the business, at least in our business for us. So I think that's the obvious answers when they're coming in, seeing the products being made, seeing the technologies, meeting the family, breaking bread with us at lunch, in the lunchroom. It all creates a very powerful wowing experience, to call it that and put it in your words. And I think it's also a very powerful closing technique for prospects.
I go back to the John Deere contract. I know at Magid, John Deere has been an institution here for many years. The day that we walked out of the parking lot, Rusty and I and Pete walked out of the parking lot, and I shook my head and said, Rusty, why did we take this contract? We had just signed it. And he said, Gary, you got to remember, you have to have the business before you can make any money. We got the business, we'll find a way to make money. I never really truly understood that at that point, and I've learned since then that is exactly what happens.